Manchester police swoop down and arrest sleeping man with a can of alcohol next to him. And I'm not talking about Charlie Veitch, or Detective Veitch, I'm going to call him in this video. I'm talking about the man whose photons were captured by Charlie Veitch in this video here. So I'm going to play a little bit of it for you. I haven't asked Charlie about this, but I will tag him, obviously. You can go and watch it for full credit. And we're going to have a little talk about what's really going on here, because at first blush, some people are going to think this is absolutely outrageous. It's ridiculous. The police are wasting their time. They shouldn't be doing this, etc. But I'm here to explain why. And it appears on the face of it valid. Not that I'm going to make any conclusions about this, because I can't, but let's have a look and we'll find out. So let's play the video first, or a little bit of it at least.
What's the solution, guys?
We're just about to get onto the portion here. I'm sure it's around about here somewhere.
I don't know.
We'll get onto it in a
Set
minute.
up Barge World, send them to Barge World out in the North Sea. See how they like it there.
It's just in the background here. Here it comes. So police here are approaching this man who appears to be sleeping.
Just give it a moment until the crackheads see me.
On the one hand, minding his own business.
Oh, he's
but you can see there's a can of alcohol next to him. Now,
no can do.
Let's just pause that for a minute. Charlie's about to say no can do. Is this his can or not? It appears to be his, to be fair. If you were the police officer, you probably have a reasonable suspicion that this can of alcohol belongs to this chap here. Let's see what happens next.
No
Officer decides to confiscate it and go and pour it away, which he's allowed to do.
He doesn't seem to mind too much. He's probably still going from last night.
Obviously having a bit of a chat with the guy.
I have to admire his gut tattoo, though. That's a good gut tattoo.
And face tattoo.
Where's me crackheads at? There they are.
He's on his feet.
Up. And from my little walkabout next to him, he's a little bit upset at being woken from his sunshine slumber. A little bit upset. But he has the number 13 tattooed on the side of his head, so he's clearly an upstanding gentleman who earns his money through legitimate means. In fact, I don't know. For all I know, he's a crypto billionaire.
Could be.
Oh, he just said,
I doubt it, but he could be.
Lock me up.
If you missed that bit, he said, effing lock me up.
My advice to anyone woken from a slumber by the police is wish him a good day and carry on with your weekend. It's almost as if he is desperate to get arrested.
Now what's actually going on here is, quite obviously, the police are asking for his details, and he's obviously refusing. These police in the background, I think, have nothing to do with this guy, but here we go.
What are you doing?
Now, my first comment here is going to be, because my first reaction when I had to watch it again to be sure, but I watched it again. Most people's first reaction's probably going to be, hey, that was uncalled for. Why did they drag him to the ground? But if you watch it again carefully, and I'll tell you what to watch for, as the officer was putting the handcuffs on him, and I'll tell you why he's doing that in a minute, but as he was putting the handcuffs on him, he pulls away, so he looks immediately like he's going to resist. So let's go back to this bit here, and you'll see what I mean. Too far, I think, but
here we go, guys.
Let's skip forward a tiny bit.
He's Garen. Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Watch. There, he pulls away. You see? He pulls his arm up there quite forcefully, so the officer knows he's about to kick off. Now, not saying that this chap is most definitely going to kick off here, but the officers have obviously got some experience. They probably suspect that this guy's about to kick off. And that pulling up of the arm there obviously gave that officer the hint that this guy is about to kick off. And so they're having none of it. They take him to the ground. They arrest him. They take him away. You can see the rest. So what's going on here, and why is that a thing? Well, Manchester, if you don't know, is known for having its issues, to put it mildly. So they put in place what we call a public space protection order, which is pretty much a city-wide area. You can actually find a map of the area here. This is the whole area that this public space protection order is in operation. And Piccadilly Gardens, which I believe is where this was filmed, is right here, right in the center of all this. Now, they had a problem with antisocial behavior, largely alcohol fueled. And so they put in place this antisocial behavior prevention mechanism by way of a public spaces protection order. Now, this one here, there's the articles that we go to, the prohibitions, Article 1, the consumption of alcohol. Consumption of alcohol or anything an authorized person or constable considers to be alcohol, to broaden that definition out a bit, in breach of an authorized person's or constable's request to cease its consumption. And Article 2, failure to surrender the alcohol. And Article 3, the requirement, the provision of information upon request. So they've happened upon this chap who may or may not have been sleeping, but may or may not have been drinking alcohol, which they obviously, on the face of it, appears that it was alcohol, and they appear to believe that it was alcohol. They've obviously, in my view, from watching the video, have asked him for his details, and it appears that he's refused those details. Not drawing any conclusions here, because that may end up in court. Who knows? Just observations, you understand. But here, a person who an authorized person or a constable reasonably suspects has breached Articles 1 and 2, the alcohol consumption or failure to surrender, shall, upon request of that authorized person or constable, provide their name, address, and date of birth so they can obviously produce them a fine. What happens if they don't comply? Well, it's a criminal offence, and there's a fixed penalty attached to it. The criminal offence is the antisocial behaviour, and the officer then later says that he's obstructing police, section 50, and then it becomes public order because of his swearing. So the guy's really not doing himself any favours here. He could have, if the officer believed that he was consuming alcohol, and if the guy had complied and said, I'll just take this away, etc., they might still have given him the fine, and that probably would have been that. An expensive mistake to make, but probably far cheaper, far less hassle than going through the whole process of refusing to give them the details, and then obviously he's going to arrest him because he's refusing to cooperate with the police, obstructing police even, then becomes public order. I think I heard the officer say it's now becoming a Section 5 public order offence. Section 5, obviously using threatening or abusive words or behaviour or disorderly behaviour or that sort of thing, which is likely to cause harassment, alarm or distress to those nearby. So he started swearing, he started shouting. There were other people nearby, not least of which the officers, but other people nearby. So obviously that's broadly what's happened there. So at first blush, people might think, why have they disturbed this guy who was just sleeping? Which I may now, having thought about that, may use for clickbait for this video. So it's not really clickbait because he was sleeping. They did come across him sleeping. They didn't arrest him because he was sleeping. Presumably I'm just guessing here, but watching the video and the explanation I've given you, I think they've arrested him because he refused to give details, because he was consuming alcohol, because they were going to fine him, etc. And Manchester has a big problem with alcohol. So there are my thoughts on that. I'll link Charlie's video below. Say hi when you're over there. Please do subscribe to the channel here for more little breakdowns of these kind of things. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.